Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking in the heavyweight division again, in what, in my opinion, is a pretty decent heavyweight clash between Efe Ajagba and Charles Martin. Now, this fight is going to be taking place on Paramount on the 13th or 14th of February. So, like I say, in my opinion, a pretty decent fight. Charles Martin has been pretty inactive over the last few years. I think he's fought like once a year for the last 3 or 4 years since that defeat to Jared Anderson, which he took on short notice and put in a pretty decent display there for a guy on about 10 days' notice. He had moments where he was outboxing Anderson in that fight, and he hurt Anderson a few times in that fight. So he is dangerous going into this fight, in my opinion. He's a guy that's improved quite a lot, actually, since losing the heavyweight title back in the day to Anthony Joshua. He's the guy that took up boxing quite late, so in my opinion, is still improving, even though he's in his late 30s now. Efe Ajagba as well is another guy that, in my opinion, has showed improvements. When he came onto the scene, he was really predominantly just a long, straight right hand. He still kind of is. However, in my opinion, he has developed a little bit more of an inside game. He's developed the ability to shorten up his shots a lot better. And I think he's a decent body puncher now as well. So, like I say, he's developed a bit of a left hook and a decent uppercut as well, and a decent body puncher as well. So, but neither guy, with that being said, is an inside fighter. So I expect this fight to be from distance. Both guys are going to be looking to do the same thing out of their opposite stances. Ajagba is going to be looking to land that long right hand, and Martin's going to be looking to land that long straight left hand as well. So it's going to be a battle of, who can, land that power shot first. Because, I mean, this is the heavyweight division. Both guys can punch. Ajagba and Martin, in my opinion, neither of them has a bad chin, but they both have been down. So both guys can be hurt. And in this fight, both guys have good power. So somebody probably will get stopped in this fight. I'm leaning towards Efe Ajagba. He is the younger of the two guys, and also having the quite a bit of a reach advantage. I think that's going to be quite important in this fight. Like I said, with both guys looking to fight from range and both guys looking to land their backhands in this fight, I think Ajagba, with the longer reach, has much better ring coverage out of the two. So I do think he will at some point land that straight right hand and hurt Charles Martin. However, like I say, Charles Martin is a dangerous guy. He has, in my opinion, improved quite a bit. And he has, he's been around the block. He's a veteran at this point. He's been in there with a lot of guys, or a few guys at least, that resemble Efe Ajagba. He's been in there with the likes of Joshua, Gerald Washington, even Jared Anderson. I know Anderson's quite a bit shorter, but especially guys like Joshua and Gerald Washington have similar styles, in my opinion, and similar height and reach to an Ajagba. In the Washington fight, Charles Martin, of course, won that fight by stoppage. And I think there's quite a few similarities between a Gerald Washington and an Efe Ajagba. Obviously, with Ajagba, does have in my opinion, a lot more power than a Gerald Washington. But, similar height, similar styles, good athletes. Obviously, an Anthony Joshua as well, you could say, kind of similar to an Ajagba, big, tall guy with a good straight right hand. Now, in that fight, Martin made the mistake of, being repetitive with that double jab, allowing AJ to counter him, in between that double jab with the straight right hand. He got back up and did the exact same thing through that sort of lazy double jab, moving to his right. AJ nailed him again with the right hand. That fight was over. Now, Martin does still do the same thing. He did that in the Anderson fight. I mean, I think he needs to utilize a little bit more feints, especially in this fight against an Efe Ajagba, who's kind of a slower, stiff guy. I think he needs to utilize his feints a lot more in this fight, because when he's just throwing that sort of lazy sort of double jab as he's stepping his way around the orthodox fighter, he's definitely open to that counter straight right hand. So I think he needs to definitely disguise that and use his feints a bit more. I think both guys in this fight will also be looking to blast the opponent in the body from range with their backhands. Martin has a good straight left hand, both to the head and body. So does Ajagba, but like I said, I think Ajagba has better ring coverage. So I do expect Ajagba to win this fight. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Martin lands that straight left hand at some point and hurts Ajagba. Ajagba's not defensively blessed, in my opinion. Like I say, we've seen him down a few times, so hasn't got the greatest chin, hasn't got a bad chin either, but against a puncher like Martin with the left hand, if you get hit with that left hand, the fight could be over at any point. But same thing goes for Martin. So, like I say, I think it's a good fight. I think it's an interesting fight. I think it is actually a good learning fight for an Ajagba, because Martin, like I say, he's a veteran at this point. He's crafty. He's improving still at this point in his career. I know he's, like I said, almost 40, but in my opinion, he is still improving. He is getting better. I think his boxing IQ's improved a lot. But with that all being said, I'm still going to be picking Efe Ajagba to win this fight, and probably by stoppage. But that's my thoughts on this fight, guys. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.